Hey, look, I know normally I'm having my whiteboard up and all of my drawings and stuff like that. I'm trying to get to this point as quick as possible because I wanted to hurry up and get this out before all the hype dies around it. I'm trying to grow up a channel a little bit. Subscribe. I have three different points that I want to tackle in order to give a full understanding of the situation that we find ourselves in and what should be possibly done because of it, or just to at least expound upon why things are happening the way that they are. And the first things first is that as with this particular group, they're practicing what I call the American hustle. And the American hustle is when I got my notes here. The American hustle is when a group of people come over to America, and they get their come up off of black culture, black American culture to be specific. And then what they do is that they get whatever credibility they can, get whatever flavor that they can, and then they detach and then disassociate with them as if they weren't even there. And I got a couple of examples. I got Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, Aquafina, Soy Sauce, who I just heard about recently. Mark Wahlberg, Machine Gun Kelly, George Lopez, and the dude who did that song "It G Ma," and and it could also be like them taking parts of our culture and just not even coming around at all in order to give us credit. A couple of people like these are Elvis, Bad Bunny, and BTS. BTS because that's Jackson 5. You can't tell me that that's not Jackson 5 or Jagged Edge. Like, if it isn't love, why do I feel this way? I'm not Jagged Edge. I forgot what group it is. But anyway, you can't tell me they ain't like them groups. That's literally all they are. Like I just said, they come in, they come in, take parts of our culture, like, steal it, or sometimes they may pay homage like an Eminem, but he's still riding off of our culture. But like, he may give credit, but it's like at that point it's kind of like, who really cares? Who really even cares? But after all the money he's made off of our culture. And then part two, this is where we started getting into where people like, Kai and whatnot start to fall under. And they do what I call the Black Electric Boogaloo. It's a part two to the American Hustle. I see the American Hustle as like a dance. And the Black Electric Boogaloo is when you start to have immigrants, black immigrants who are not attached to Black American culture. Now, the reason why is because when we look back in time, you can see that during the early days of media and Hollywood in general, they used to do what's called blackface in order to put on these minstrel shows, in order to denigrate Black Americans and make us seem like lazy, bumbling fools or crazed criminals. And they always made us look like we're just terrible people in general, especially men. They made us look like complete degenerates or whatnot. And what I've noticed about this, like I can give you examples of, like, let's say old rodeo clowns. If you look up the old ones, and The Birth of a Nation, which is which was a KKK film, that was the first film. That was the first film to be shown in the White House. And what I believe is that the appetite for minstrel shows has never went away. It's only more so that white people can't wear blackface and just go crazy and stuff like that. I believe that there's always been kind of like this subtle appetite for it through what they call black trauma corn, where it's always like a bunch of black people just destitute, going through it, just struggling and whatnot. And for some reason, Hollywood loves to always put on these black struggle movies. And it's like they always want to show us in struggle or something, like they get off on it or whatnot. And the thing is, I believe that that's kind of like a minstrel fetish that they've never fully gotten rid of. And because of that, since they still have that fetish, and Black Americans aren't very keen on doing these preposterous activities and stuff on TV and nowadays on the internet, since they're not willing to do it and denigrate ourselves and whatnot, they're like, man, who can we get to denigrate black people, specifically Black Americans? You know what? Let's get people who look like them, who has no attachment to them. Put in the black immigrants. And then when they come in here, they come to this country, they come in and they'll be like a Kai Cenat. They'll be a caricature of what it means to be a Black American. You'll have a Nicki Minaj who caricaturizes Black Americans. You have Cardi B who caricaturizes Black women. You'll have a Kodak Black who caricaturizes Black men. You'll have Triple X Tentacion, rest in peace, who caricaturize Black Americans, and they would do it in a very silly and minstrel way. And oftentimes, I don't think that they would. I don't think they would really even care, because they don't see themselves as Black Americans. So if they're putting on a show or an act, they're just acting. But for us, it's real life, because they use those jokes at the end of the day to enact policies and real life things that end up bringing us down. Or at least, if they're not making the policies to do it, they're definitely doing it in, like, let's say, secrecy, like, oh, we're not hiring, or oh, we have to stop these Black people more so often because of whatever garbage reason. But they know that they can't really get a lot of Black Americans to participate in doing that, so they often go and get immigrants in order to do it, so that they can kind of get their minstrel fetish fed. And this also brings me to like my two first videos, one about the N-word and two about the American salad and why everybody hates Black Americans. The thing is that when you have this salad, I call it the American salad, where everyone in America contributes to it. If someone is really bringing like the lettuce of the salad, which is like the main part, like they pretty much have the most that they brought the most to the salad. But if you say, you know what, hold on, we all put in on this salad. Everybody has something to do with the salad. So the lettuce doesn't really matter, since it's just a foundation. Everything else that we're adding into it with our own culture and whatnot is what gives it its real flavor. The lettuce doesn't really give it flavor. And then they kind of use that to denigrate the cultural additions or the cultural ingredients of Black Americans, while eating the salad that we're the foundation of, coming over here making all types of money that for some reason these people couldn't have made of their own homeland. Like, why isn't Kai Cenat popping over in Trinidad or Haiti? Why isn't Asian popping over in Ethiopia? Why isn't Why isn't Chris popping in Nigeria? Why isn't Davis popping from whatever Caribbean island he's from, or Africa? I don't know where that dude's from. Or like, why isn't Phantom popping over there in the Dominican Republic? They all got to come to America. They all come over here using the N-word, which is a part of the Black American culture, which apparently we don't have. But yeah, we don't have a culture, and to me, it's just a whole lot of cap. But I want to also put this out there. If you looked at my N-word video, you would already know what I'm about to say. But if you want to hear why I'm saying what I'm about to say, go check out that video. But what I'm going to say right now is that when I look at the AMP group, honestly, since Duke is the only actual foundational Black American freedman in that group, he's really the only one with credibility in that group. He's really the only he's the only real Black person in that group. He's the only non-caricature. Well, them grills and those locks is kind of, he pushing the envelope a little bit, but he's still the only credible dude who's not a caricature of what a Black person is. And he's the extenuation of everything great that Black Americans are. But even with that, since he's the only one with real Black credibility in that group, he's actually the only one who's allowed to say the N-word. The thing is that the N-word is only supposed to be used by Black American freedmen. It's not supposed to be used by white people, especially Hispanic people, Asian people, and even Black immigrants, because they were not here for that word. They didn't get that word thrust on them like that. And they weren't the ones who took the word and created it and used it for their culture. Since we don't have a culture and Black American culture is just whatever, then we're going to gatekeep our culture from now on. And yeah, that's our culture now. The N-word is our culture. It is a part of our cultural heritage, a part of our cultural norm, and you can't use it. Simple as that. So since you're so big and you're so rich and so powerful, because a lot of, dominant society people cheer you on and give you money because you're a big Black buffoon to them, since you want to do that, use their slurs, don't use ours. And even though I know none of the other groups of people have said this as well, it does still apply to them too as Black immigrants. If you're a Black immigrant or descendant of a Black immigrant, you don't get to say the N-word too. It just is what it is. Since we ain't got no culture, y'all don't have no culture to be taken from us. Give us our swag back. Give the way we dress. Give our music styles back and all that other stuff. Come out there with your Kowski and shield and just do whatever, or come out there with your dance hall and whatever and do that or something, or come out there with your jollof rice or something and make that pop instead of doing what we do, especially over in Atlanta, one of the blackest cities in America, talking about some we ain't got no culture. Get up out of here, bro. But yeah, anyway, that's all I got to say. I wanted to keep it quick because I try to get these things. I'm trying to get it out quick. But yeah, if you like what you're hearing, even if you don't, I don't care. Come in here, come in here, comment, go to war with me. I'll go back and forth with you. I went back and forth with somebody on my latest video. It ain't nothing to me, but if you're feeling it, cool. Subscribe and all that other stuff, and like the video and whatnot. If you don't, then still subscribe and like it because I'll go back and forth with you. It ain't nothing to me. You feel me? Oh man, I don't even know how to end this. Just have a good day. I'm out. Tweet. Jesus, peace.